we're getting into things. We'll get to this later, Harry. We're
go.
into Vertigo. It's map number 1. It's MVP ALPHA Red.
Best map in the pool.
For a spot in the playoffs or elimination here and now at the Asian Minor in Berlin. MVP setting up for an A play, Harry, to start it off. KNTZ has the worst angle I've ever seen. And we'll see if he finds anything from it. Zeph gets tagged. That's info early on. There's a player up on top of the scaffolding as well. That's Olivia waiting.
Yeah, this position is going to get found out. I was going to say, like, the real Goblin play. But they check it. They check for Olivia. And they'll shut him down. HSK trying to give us all a bit of tutorial. You always have to check that on Vertigo because you will all get shot in the back of the head if you don't. Bomb now down and planted. 4v5 in this retake, and Zeph holding down the angle is going to miss that initial shot. The rest of the team trying to pressure. There's no utility here, and with all 5 players for MVP back on round, I don't know what's going on. The Foxes is sticking it, and he gets the defuse. Really. And that is Vertigo in a nutshell.
I prefer, I don't like that plant. I prefer the plant even closer to that. There's a, you know, right next to the, I can't even describe it. It's that hard. Like, the furthest right you can plant, but in front of the boxes, where the line is, you can plant on that line. Right.
So you're saying you align with that, with the far right?
I align with the line, Harry.
Yeah.
And you can plant there, and it's very hard to defuse in the smoke because it's very easy to get a lineup. Right there, you have a lot of room to maneuver, but not on that spot. Either way.
I'm going to be honest. I think that the A bomb site, even though everyone was making out like this is it, this is the easiest one, I think it's not that great, especially ever since they added the little hole in the wall.
What do you mean not that great? You don't like it?
No, as in I feel like if you want to get a bomb down, you want it to be in B, and it's pretty easy. You can use the wall of smokes, cut that site in two. When we were even speaking to old mate Devil Walk the other day, Hugo.
Don't leak too much.
I'm not leaking anything, don't worry. They're saving strats for the major.
Well, they kind of messed that one up.
Well, they'll get there.
Next one.
But he even agreed. He was saying, like, the B bomb site's so easy to take, man. You just throw down that wall of smokes. What can they do?
Nothing.
I just think, like, the A bomb site just becomes such a mess in a retake scenario, right? Like, it's always a 5v4 or something along those lines because you just play solo A. This round MVP are heading into this B bomb site. And actually, that Molotov's going to burn out 789. So he's been kind of ruined there. Manivai's taken MVP. Now they double back. They're trying to sell this fake. And this is the thing about Vertigo, you want to be trying to give away like fake information with these footsteps if you can. You can be heard almost all across the map, and you almost have to try and use that to your advantage as opposed to against you. They make noise over towards B, they show a presence, they found a kill, and now it's wrapping back into the A bomb site. Olivia and KNTZ here to try and respond.
What a position as well with 2 low players. Olivia's going to be able to find a lot of damage off, but he's tagged down to 12. Oh, the spray is whipped, but he gets it eventually. 2 kills. Fox follows up. Bomb dropped, and MVP are getting shut out of this round. Stacks can only get a kill, and that is all she wrote. What a start for ALPHA Red. I like that Olivia threw that right-click smoke down, tried to move around it, get on top of yellow, knowing they were pushing A without a doubt and trying to get behind them, but almost gets taken down in the madness. Doesn't matter anyway. It's a round for ALPHA Red. Remember, for those unaware, this is a map that both teams have played once. ALPHA Red won and MVP lost, so we don't really have a lot to work off in this series. We don't know where this is going. I'd assume ALPHA Red are going to be prepared considering they picked it, and it's certainly looking to be the case. 2-0, aggression down B stairs already, and a man advantage in this anti-eco.
I kind of love that ALPHA Red just hunt down MVP in that round. Yeah, you're not going to let them have some time to take a look around the map, try and figure out this this default that's being ran. They just go for flat-up disrespect, Hugo. And sometimes that's what you got to do.
Yes, indeed, Harry. But guns coming back out here for MVP. They're going to have rifles in this next round. Double Krieg. I'll be interested to see the AWPing battles in this one. Olivia, can he utilize that weapon here on the CT side? Well, we will find out soon. So pulling up money. Myros doesn't care. He's pushing, and he'll find a kill from it. HSK getting caught at the bottom of B stairs. Didn't know where to look. So man advantage here for ALPHA Red, and MVP, what is the response? Just still defaulting right now, all spread up. Zeph is alone on that A site. That's a very on-the-fly smoke, but it looks like it's going to cover off the gap That'll make ALPHA Red a little bit hesitant towards his A site. And if you look towards B, everyone's backed off, Harry. You talk about that wall of smokes. Well, if MVP threw them in right now, they'd have B for free, but not looking committed yet. Zeph trying to sell this fake, and now the B play will come through.
Oh, but that smoke falling just to block off the ramp play. That is actually going to be enough to send MVP away from B.
Did you see that one way from Zeph?
No.
There was a... It was full of... Ooh.
And he sees the boost, he sees it.
Oh, what a shot. Can't follow up, though.
Well, he almost does. Brings KNTZ down to 13 points of health. So Zeph has done his job in this round, and now he's going to sit back and rely on the rest of his team to try and close this one out. The bomb now looking to go down for MVP. Falling back down through the ramp, all three players here.
It's all about just coordinating yourself, making sure everyone's on the same page. ALPHA Red going to start to move in, but Stax gets to decide the time that he fights at the end of the day. Flash going up. They don't play off the back of it. Everyone's blind on the site, but MVP still sit back. Zeta finally getting a kill. Zyne follows up, and this is going wonderfully for MVP. No kills on the retake. Myros gets one, but now KNTZ has to fall back and save. It's going to be MVP finding their first round. And I'd love to see that again. Hopefully we'll see more of it. But there was a smoke thrown down on that ramp that kind of landed in the gap, but like elevated in the gap, meaning you could see underneath the smoke into that A site, meaning a CT who has the high ground wouldn't be able to see below that smoke, but a T down the ramp would. Either way, I'll point it out if we catch it again. I don't know if it was purpose or not. Either way, it's a first round taken for MVP. Finally, they've been close before, especially back in that pistol with the defuse coming in the smoke, but no retake today for ALPHA Red, and still no AWP.
And it does feel like teams have taken very harsh lines on whether or not they want to bring the AWP out on this map or not, right? I feel like some teams you see it brought out a hell of a lot, and then others they just won't use it at all.
Maybe if you're having a problem with the opposition, so as a response, right? But even then, utility's so easy to throw on this map that if you're having a problem with the AWP, just smoke it off.
See, for me, the A-bomb site... Oh, hang on a minute. Fox is pushing in towards mid here. That smoke goes down aggressive. He's trying to take control of the elevator drop. You get a lot of... information just from having this forward mid position, both that no one from MVP is coming this way. You can also hear and look down the drop. It doesn't really feel like we see players elect to drop down the elevator shaft all too much. I think the noise it makes is too loud. The actual angles you have to clear into that A-bomb site down through forklift is horrible.
Wait.
And hang on a sec.
How did that happen? How did HSK even get into middle? He must have been...
I think he got boosted in through window because they smoked up top mid. You can still they smoked up top B. You can still see the smoke there.
Ooh.
So yeah, they boosted quickly into the window, and actually now that's given MVP this foothold over in middle. ALPHA Red thought they had this under control, and now that couldn't be further from the truth. The bomb is back over here towards the A-bomb site, and KNTZ's just been lit up. Zeta and Stax doing the damage. Myrol's left up alone in the 1v4.
I mean, even though HSK didn't get anything done in middle, just his distraction alone gave room for MVP to push up that ramp. And Myrol's is not in this round at all. He's going to get flanked. Zyne shutting it down. And MVP, they're getting hyped, man. They're shouting, they're screaming. And I'm all for it. Trying to get in the heads of their opponents, knowing how important that this first map of the series is. They can take away ALPHA Red's pick on Vertigo. Well, I mean, the series is just set up for them to take Inferno's a second and Mirage as a potential third. Got it eventually.
Foxes has been doing this mid-aggression time and time again, and MVP once more have a man deployed to deal with him. I actually find it really interesting the way that MVP have been playing over towards this B site in particular, right? In that previous round, for example, boosting HSK up into mid, and in a way, like it was almost a different way of taking mid, right? Like you had. I'm trying to think who it is who watches it. I'm pretty sure it's Zine who sits back over towards mid to keep an eye on that aggression into the elevator shaft. And then you boost window, so you kind of pincer the mid player, knowing that he's been going for that aggressive play into middle, right? That's a nice read from MVP. Because it leaves him having to fight from two different positions. This round, the bomb's back down over here towards A. These pistols aren't really getting too much done. KNTZ was able to get one onto the bomb planter, but the round gets mopped up very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And MVP will be tying this up 3-3 now.
I find if you hold angles with pistols against a rifle round on this map, you have a really rough time. You've got to do something aggressive if you actually want to find success. Slow round, MVP get a pick on A, they default a little bit, then they just rotate and fully overwhelm that A site that was not up for the task of defending. Odds on GGBet favoring MVP right now. Obviously, the scoreline is certainly leading that way. Now,
see, tactical pause here, Hugo. And I feel like, you got to try and come up with a solution, right?
Nah, I think...
You definitely do.
Nah. Who needs a solution when you can just sit there in
just
silence?
Embrace the problems. See, I don't know what that solution is.
Wow, why even say anything?
But
you really set yourself up for failure.
Yeah, no, I actually had a point and I forgot it, so I was just hoping it would come back to me as I set that up, and it never did. So I'll play the part of the fool.
It's a Harry special right there.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Well, trades down B early on, ALPHA Red with some aggression. It pays off for a 1-for-1, and they get the HP advantage at least. That's a nice nade. If only Zeph was a little bit closer. Is he gonna... I was gonna say, how are you gonna get a nade over that wall, buddy? Flashback in for Stacks. He wants to regain control of lower B. 789 does fall back. Oh, but he just makes noise just to bait him in. Only for the window player to fall back, though. Maybe ALPHA Red deciding they don't want to take this fight early on. They've still got two players with a crossfire on A. That's a double smoke play. Responsive smoke going down for KNTZ, though.
You just see that little nade stack onto the back blue boxes where Olivia sits. MVP have brought him down to 25 points of health before they even saw it. Maybe it does get forced into the box. Oh! Well,
that's clean.
Yeah, just get out the server. That's it. You've been shut down. That flick from Zeta will actually get returned, but it might not matter. The bomb is already all the way back over here towards B, so that bomb plant now will come in. Zine's holding mid. If they're able to get this kill, if they're able to deal with this one player who's gone aggressive, now we see the retake happen. Zeph and Stacks, 2-on-3. Now 1v3 for Stacks required, and he gets shut down. 789 coming in big with 2 kills there to facilitate that retake.
Yeah, that was an awkward couple of sprays there for the MVP players in the post-plant, but 789, absolutely no fear. No waiting for his team, just would rather push in and deny both players before they're even there. Either way, it works out wonderfully. He doesn't lose his life, and we will see that retake come in with 3 players surviving, so... MVP still got money, of course. The bomb plant's certainly going to help with that one, but this is back and forth at least. It's not dominant. No one's getting wrecked yet, Harry, and that's what we like to see. Both teams in the game. Tactical pause coming through for MVP, though. Clearly some talking to do. Maybe from Termi more than any of the players right now.
See, like, I mean, you notice that in a lot of these rounds, it's been, I think it's Fox's challenging for mid over on the side of ALPHA Red. Oh. This time, he's actually got KNTZ with him. The fight goes down initially over here towards ramp, and Myrals does get traded onto.
He definitely didn't know a second player was there. He was very committed to that angle after getting the first pick, but Didn't know the timing. Zet has actually got a pick on A as well. In the meantime, MVP have been doing a really good job of just slow defaulting and making ALPHA Red over-rotate to bomb sites. And they're getting very scared. When they lose a player, they just start stacking a bomb site. Sometimes it's worked, sometimes it's not. And MVP slow crawling up towards A. At least ALPHA Red have 2 players here for a change.
All this utility just raiding into the bomb site. What do you even do? Olivia's actually gone barreling through this smoke. Gets dropped as a result. KNTZ with 1 point of health running for the hills. He's going back in. He's going back in. He's going for the fight. And he's got some balls to do it. Oh, you're lucky. He's lucky. And now he's not. Now he's dead. MVP 4-4. Tie this one up nice and quickly with the A play to end that round.
You can see Olivia was also scared of playing on that top boost spot because of the nades in the previous round.
I do feel like Hugo, maybe I'm calling this too early because obviously I think we can say this is a T-sided map. Although I do feel like we need to see even more CS on it before we get 100. But I think, based on what we've seen thus far, from what we've heard from players, T-sided map, so that's fine. But, maybe this is too soon. But I think we could be in for a singularity Shark situation.
Yeah, no, I'm getting the feeling that MVP know what they do.
That MVP have, even with like the nade stacks and little things like that, like the forethought to check a lot of these boosts, the way that they're using the information that they're giving out, they're very selective, you'll note, with when they're running and when they're walking across this map. And it's because, they're very aware of these points that ALPHA Red can get those little tidbits of information from. And so they kind of use that to paint a ruse and set ALPHA Red up for failure in a lot of these rounds. KNTZ up here on top of the boost. Now, this is something MVP have been checking every time they've gone towards this bomb site. So, oh boy.
That's a head.
Oh, that's a head. KNTZ. Oh, no. Well, he's gone. I thought he was going to get it.
Zef tries to catch the timing into the bomb site. Once he spots the boost, he thinks he can get up. The second they get caught, they just fall off and run towards connector. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. MVP do deal with those players, but Zef getting caught going wide. And that will be another round for the Koreans. 5-4 here on the T side, leading early. But we've only had a couple of rifle rounds and a lot of tac pauses coming through. That suggests that ALPHA Red are not that comfortable right now, or at least have words to say, Harry.
I mean, also, I think Vertigo is a map that you really have to bring a lot of pauses out on, just because there's such a... I don't know, there's such a small amount of nuances towards how you approach your defaults on both the T and CT side that I feel like, there's a lot to discuss when it comes into planning out a round, right? Exactly how you want it to go down, and also trying to anti-strat your opponent. Because you'll note, it's not like, you play this map how you would like a Mirage, right? You establish some mid control, you wait around, you hold your default. This is a lot more about pushing and prodding at every bomb. So you'll barely even see MVP set foot in mid throughout this entire game.
Although ALPHA Red, well, that's quite a different story. 3 players here. So much dedication. Maybe that's a bit of a read in them, going for the pause and going, okay, it's possible MVP try something new here. Let's go 3 mid just in case. If there's no rush, rotates are quick, right? So you can just move back, swap a player over towards B, play connector. They're going to boost up on the box instead of middle with 1. But here's that B player. Myros is alone right now. That AWP finally out, and it has been spotted. Zets are going to fall off, but that bomb still up here for MVP. Look at that fake, though. He just runs away and then starts sneaking back. This is what you talk about, Harry, when you mentioned the information that MVP are allowing ALPHA to have. They're giving them misinformation. They're not allowing them to rotate too heavily towards B because ALPHA Red think that rotate has gone away. That's quite the opposite. 4 players walking up these B stairs right now. And ALPHA Red are going to get dealt with a full execute.
Yeah, and there's that wall of smokes that we've been speaking about. This leaves Myrols inside of the bomb site pretty much alone. He's got teammates nearby, but the flashbangs are so good. And I mean, look at this, right? What can Foxes do in this situation? What can any of these players do? As they try and assemble this boost, MVP Arkia keeping an eye on it. Stax is able to get that trade. 4 on 3. Re-smoke down, and there's also a smoke on Zyne, so they can actually just throw this wall of smokes back in if they wanted to. Olivia's backed away, and yeah, this is a save from ALPHA Red. MVP going to move up 6-4.
What a fantastic execute. I think it was Myrol sitting in the corner there. Every time he looked back in the open, he got whited. He'd look into the wall, dodge a couple more flashes, look back, get whited. Poor guy doesn't get a chance to even get a fight, fully blinded, double peeked, and what an execute towards B. MVP, yeah, Harry, they know what they're doing right now. That much seems very clear. Look at this execute. I mean, 3 smokes down, no info for anyone on the bomb site. Molotovs to cut off the hard position, which is the back of the site, of course. Forces anyone out into the open or off the map. And now ALPHA Red, they've got to take an eco. Another pistol round for these CTs. Armor on Myros, everyone else just on pistols, USPs, Deeg, CZ. And again, going for one of these just default slow rounds. I'd love to see a bit of a crunch here. Obviously, the issue with a crunch or a push is that, you know, with MVP defaulting on both sides, if ALPHA Red push down A or B stairs, the T's are going to go to the opposite side of the map.
Hugo, what's the difference between a crunch and a push? Is there a difference?
Yeah, I used crunch wrong, really there. Okay. Crunch, in my opinion, this is just...
I like it. I don't know.
Crunch is when you attack, when you aggressively push an area of the map from multiple positions.
I was going to agree with you.
Crunch on you.
Yep, I agree.
That's a crunch.
You know what, mate? You've nailed it.
Because there's a lot of teeth when you bite, and that's how crunches happen, Harry.
Hang on a minute.
And so you need a lot of players and a lot of angles, and that's how you crunch.
A lot of teeth
when you bite. That doesn't necessarily mean...
Does that say you're biting teeth?
No, I'm biting with teeth, Harry.
So why is there a lot of teeth? Like, you always have the same amount of teeth. The
Yeah.
biting doesn't activate more teeth.
No, but I mean, because I'm biting, I have a certain number of teeth, and that makes it a crunch.
Do you know how many teeth you have?
17. And that's just in the top of my mouth, Harry.
I'm going to look up how many teeth you're meant to have, because I swear it's like...
I don't know how many teeth I have, Harry. These aren't the questions I'm asking.
I've just Googled how many teeth. 32. So Hugo, man, you've got half.
That's why I said top of my mouth.
Actually, yeah.
I really hit the tooth on the head right there. On the gum. I don't know.
Crowns?
This is a mess. This is.
I tell you what, man. It is like pulling teeth right now when it comes to this CT side for ALPHA Red. They just cannot seem to catch a break. This round, obviously, just the eco. But 7-4 up in favor of MVP. We questioned how much preparation they would have put in on Vertigo. And I always love this, right? Whenever a new map gets added, there's 2 kinds of teams. There's the there's 3. There's the team that just ban it forever. There's the team that just hardcore practice to get as good as they can, as early as they can. And then there's the team that practices it in secret and waits for someone who's done that second step. And then they just sit there rubbing their hands like, ha, ha, ha.
Like MVP.
Yeah, and
like
I feel like maybe that's what MVP have done.
Yeah.
They're sitting 2 men up in this round. ALPHA Red do still have KNTZ and 789 over here towards the B-bomb site. But MVP, they're a long way from having to dedicate anywhere in this round. There's still 1 minute and 15 seconds left, so they've got all the time in the world.
Oh my god, leave them alone. These flashbangs are furious. That's an AWP shot from Zeta. Olivia tries to get aggressive, but doesn't counter-strafe in time, and Zeta's going to find the kill. MVP committing towards A. Well, they had both, or sorry, 2 out of 3 players dedicated to that B-bomb site. ALPHA Red, hook, line, and sinker. And a bomb plant for MVP with 5 players still standing. This is a very rough spot to be in if you're ALPHA Red. They're going to try and save down bottom B, but Zyne's coming in. Does he catch a timing? Is they're looking away. 789 does find that frag, but that's a small consolation. 8 rounds here for MVP. Yeah, that's not an angle, but that is. Ooh. Ooh, that's a save spot. He spots a player crossing. HSK too low to commit. Smoke down to ward out these T's. But better watch out. There's a gap in that. Luckily, this save is actually turning to be a really effective round, but it's still not going to be a round 1 for ALPHA Red. 8-4, double that of their opposition. And another timeout for ALPHA Red.
And I mean, that's the thing. I honestly can't think of what you could do here if you're Alpha Red, right? We've seen that some CT teams do try and go for some ramp aggression over towards B, right? By deep smoking down the ramp, trying to take some gunfights there. You can boost up on top of the blue boxes inside of the bomb site as well. I feel like maybe there's a bit more that Alpha Red could be doing to try and get those early fights going their way, as opposed to just hunkering down in these bomb sites and playing very reactively. But at the same time, I understand their hesitation because MVP are clearly very well versed here.
Yeah.
And you don't want to go giving up that early man advantage on this map.
I mean, the issue is we've seen Alpha Red throw in some nice, like, aggressive plays like this on B Stead, but they always overcommit. They get a kill and they keep pushing. This time they need to back off. You have a 5-on-4. Now make MVP work for it. But again, they just continue to push and continue to get traded. Luckily, there's a third man here this time, so they do get the better of it. But in past, Harry, we've seen that happen where they get a pick and then they just lose the advantage. Luckily, oh,
it looks like they're still keen on fighting, and yeah, they boost up K and TZ into the window. I like that. Draws the attention in. I think it was a bit of noise being made. Fox is rotating out of middle, gets the attention of HSK, and now going back for this bomb, it's Zeta and Zeph. 2v4, that tack pause for Alpha Red has clearly done a world of good.
yeah, I like that play, right? Give up mid early, or at least somewhat, and just pressure B. If it works, or even if it doesn't, you can try and get that boost back into middle. They're not going to expect that position, especially with 3 players on B early. So Alpha Red finding a 4-on-2 right now. MVP going to try and commit towards this A site. They've got the smokes down, both of them in fact, but pushing in through is Fox. Always a good for 2. He's going to get them both. AWP saved as well. That's an upgrade for Alpha Red that they've yet to invest in, with the exception of 1 round. So now getting it for free and starting to find their groove maybe on the CT side. Of course, it is their pick, right? So they are certainly going to have some tricks up their sleeves, and that round is a great example of one.
Yeah, I mean, being honest, 5-10 scoreline isn't disappointing in your CT half. So even if they don't manage to get much more from here, they should still be reasonably happy with this. Myrol is opening this round up, so he's not keyed on just 5 rounds. That much is obvious. MVP, not really used to having to play into these rounds a man down. It's usually been them winning these early fights. So now it's crunch time. Stacks and HSK, they trying to boost here to take this fight a little bit sooner. It looks like it. Finally, there we go. Oh, I like that.
Not seen that.
I haven't seen that, but that's
that's how they got the boost into the window a couple of rounds ago.
Oh my
wow!
Word. Right, MVP. I'm stealing that one.
Yeah, that's really
stealing
sick.
that.
That's really sick.
Because it's also great because you don't have to make any noise crouching or like take your time doing that. You just walk a little further up the steps, and then the AWPer can keep holding the angle.
I was always wondering how the hell they got HSK into mid a few rounds ago. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We've uncovered the secret. Myrol's trying to hold down the B site. He does get one, but Zeph with the trade. The mid player has been picked up. He got spotted by Fox back in the connector. Zeph, nice fake. Does catch a kill, but does he know there's a player so close behind him? KNTZ on the other side of that smoke, and Zeph is going to go right through it. Fades, and it doesn't fade favorably. 6 rounds to Alpha Red. They start to find their groove on the CT side. Even with these little boosts thrown in from MVP, it's going to be an Alpha Red round. That's so cool, man. I like that.
No, I love that, man. I love it. I love it, Hugo. And, well, now, we're actually going to see an AWP board out here for Olivia over on the CT side. And immediately they reap the rewards of it. AWP finds 1. And that's actually stemmed this early A aggression somewhat. 4 players still grouped up here. This might just be the flat A commitment from MVP.
I love that angle.
Oh, KNTZ and Olivia, get out of the A-bomb site, MVP, because they've just sent you home. Alpha Red, 7 rounds over on the CT side. Fantastic stuff from them to recover this one. And now this is split right down the middle. This is why Alpha Red picked this map. This is what I wanted to see. Both these teams looking good. Second half coming up in just a moment, so do not go anywhere.
7 at halftime. MVP, they started off fantastically here on Vertigo, the map pick of ALPHA Red, but right as the last few rounds came through, ALPHA Red showed some resurgence. They showed some cleaner rounds, and maybe this is looking a little more favorable than we originally made out. Now, of course, I think the question for us, Harry, is 7-round CT good? I feel like that is. I feel like it's a really good half.
7 rounds on the CT half. Yeah, I think that's a very decent half, especially when you consider that it was what 8-3 at one point in time in favor of MVP. Actually, I think it was 8-4. But regardless, that's quite the turnaround from ALPHA Red. It was all on the back of those few tactical pauses they were throwing in, and you know, a bit of a confidence boost after the success of that ramp play. But this pistol round, lots of attention over in middle. They're going to smoke off the left-hand side. Now, there is a hole in the door there. No kill's going to come through from it. And somehow they've gotten into elevators. They get up close. This is an odd pistol round, but they get into this A-bomb site. 4-on-4. Zyne fragging back in from CT. That doorway is horrible to push through, but somehow MVP managed to get all 4 players through it. Trades going left and right, and now it's Myrolls and 789 from ramp to try and hold this one down.
Oh, what a shot though. Myrolls now alone, 1-on-1, and this is so hard to stick a bomb in a situation like this. Zeta's grabbed a Glock. He's looking to get up close range, but Myrolls won't give him the fight. He's going to have to tap this bomb, but he can't find the kit. Finally getting picked up, but I don't know if there's time left here, Harry. I feel like Myrolls has got this, and the bomb gets stuck, and there is the shot. Myrolls with 3 and ALPHA Red find the pistol. I love that call as well. We already talk about how many teams give up mid and how unimportant that position of the map is. Well, if you know a team is going to give up and give you a lot of room in mid, abuse that. Get that smoke down on the left side and fast play with Glocks. What a call from ALPHA Red. It works wonderfully. Also, 789 was trying to duck from shots in game and he ducked with his camera. And I laughed at that internally. I love it when someone does that. I do it all the time.
See, I always had people take the mick out of me for like things like that, so I really conditioned myself not to.
That's
like,
cute.
did you ever get shot in a game and say "ow"? Like,
No.
I would do that.
You're weird.
What? You duck in real life, you freak of a human being.
Ow.
And here's me, like,
oh, my pixels hurt. Oh. Ow.
leave my pixels alone.
These are my pixels. ALPHA Red threw a spawn smoke that round to the gap on boost, not on boost, on A, the wood gap. I still don't know what to call that. I call it a different thing every round. It doesn't matter. I'm going to keep doing it. You can't tell me what to do, Harry. And look, they're going to continue to throw it from spawn. That's nice to see. Denies a lot of info early on, even if they don't necessarily commit behind it. And let's see how MVP reacted to their first buy round. It's rifles. Playing bottom B stairs without committing is like just a game of finding the most horrible angle you can.
Do you prefer shooting up or shooting down in
Shooting
CS?
down. Shooting down. I hate shooting up. Because at least I feel like if you're shooting up, you can back off easier. Right?
Hang on.
Advantage with the high ground.
So you mean if you're shooting down?
Sorry,
you can
I'm
back
up
off.
and I'm shooting
Okay,
down.
okay,
Yeah.
See, I also think that to look around looking down feels easier than looking up. Like, because if they like run past like the limit of your looking upness, you know, like you can't.
You're a man of many incredible words.
Yeah.
Upness being one of them.
Mr. Upness, my favorite
What's
Lion
Upness?
Witch in the Wardrobe character. Ooh. Zyne in with the trade, KNTZ.
He's hiding in the smoke. He's waiting for the plant.
Yeah, they are just going to try and play this one for that whole squad. KNTZ will find Zyne. It's my roles to deal with him. And now that bomb going down, 3-on-3. Myrolls holding off the CT push, and I like that play. Getting up on top of the blue boxes. He can see all the points of rotation from there, and with the other 2 players holding close, he can hear those rifles, so he's well aware of their positioning. Zeph left up alone. Myrolls being a real champ here in this A-bomb site. 3 kills to his name. Zeph 1v2, time ticking away. Is there even any hope for him in this round?
It's all about damage, really. If someone can give him a kill, that'd be great. But at this point, he's upgraded his gun, and he's just going to save. Give it a round away to ALPHA Red. Fox has finally got a weapon. He dropped his AK, but there we go. 9 rounds, now made 10 for ALPHA Red. And yeah, Harry, like continuing on from yesterday, Myrols and 789 just looking like the standout players here, at least on LAN for ALPHA Red. When we saw... or at least when we spoke to Blair yesterday, he was hyping up Olivia. We didn't really see much from Olivia, and that's kind of the same here, but it's not really an AWPing map, and they've not had the AWP, so I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt, at least in this map of the series. But it's nice to see Myrols and 789 stepping up. KNTZ also sitting up there right now as well.
I really wish that we could say KNTZ's name just phonetically, but...
Cants.
Yeah.
What is going on?
What is this round?
See, this is what I like, though. This is what you should be doing on the pistol rounds.
That's a crunch. That's a crunch.
Yeah, that's a crunch.
They pushed in. They go down the elevator drop. They push down the ramp. They swarm the ramp position. And now they've got rifles on the back of it. Olivia and 789 throw it into this 2v5. They at least get the A-bomb site. But if this bomb doesn't get a move on, Olivia's going to have to hold this down versus 5 players walking back into it. At the same time, 789 doesn't want to make too much noise, because right now you can see that MVP is still keeping 3 players at that B side of the map. They know that ALPHA Red could dedicate anywhere. And now that Olivia gets that first kill, we're going to see these rotations look to come through. 2v4, by no means impossible, considering the utility that's still left up on ALPHA Red and how strong this post plant on the A-bomb site is. Olivia holding close doubles up and now has to ace this if he wants to pick up this round. Tap the bomb. It's not planted for him. That Molotov doesn't matter because he's got a kit, so he's fine. And he wasn't even getting burnt anyway somehow.
That's huge. What a round from MVP. I mean, I love that plant, but I don't even want to say not in that situation, because you're kind of screwed no matter where you plant for that player in CT. But you would very much hope the 789 survives after he plants and can get back to the ramp. Either way, compare that eco round from the eco rounds that we saw from ALPHA Red CT side, where they would sit back, they would hold angles, they would play passive, and they would get owned one by these AK defaults. That's a nice round. Get aggressive, get in the face of ALPHA Red, and most importantly, Harry, what? Crunch.
Yeah, and the crunch prevails in the end.
It does.
It always does, man. There's no stopping the crunch. You
can't munch the crunch.
It's a very satisfying word to say.
Yeah, it's like
that's
mangled.
Why I preferred when everyone called the recession the credit crunch. No, I don't actually. That was horrible. I hate that term.
Recession.
No, credit crunch. Ugh. Smoke down over here at the gap. Flash down to actually allow the peek to come through from Zeta. And he's trying to clear this this A ramp. There are players on the other side of that smoke, so he's got to watch out.
ALPHA Red just continue to throw this gap smoke here from Spawn. Scares MVP a lot. It makes him dedicate 2A every round at the start. I don't know if they're getting cracked up on ramp. You never know. I think at some point in this map, ALPHA Red are going to throw that smoke, and they're going to 5-man sneak up towards A and just burst. We'll see, though. Zion getting aggressive. Great flashbang, and Olivia caught out on the corner. Had nowhere to go, because that smoke around the corner had faded for the gap. He was going to walk into one of the 2 players. I like this very close setup from MVP. They don't give away picks. They make ALPHA Red commit to actually getting on the bomb site. And they certainly look like they want to. KNTZ calling for rotations, and these T's of the bomb are going to be walking up this ramp. Fox has another smoke for the gap. Ooh.
Good timing there to swing wide and actually keep the advantage in favor of MVP. Gonna find another low HP on Foxes, but that might not matter. Still able to pick up Zine. KNTZ's got aggressive, and uh-oh, after missing that initial spray, actually able to follow up. This leaves HSK alone. That bomb planted for ramp. Try and get down it. They will narrowly. HSK, couple of bullets is all it's going to take for him to wipe out both these remaining players. Easier said than done, however. Smoke down onto the bomb, trying to bait these peaks out from ramp. HSK, he's got to do something, and he's got to do it quick because there's very little time left on this bomb. And even as he gets that first man, now he's just got to stick it, tapping the defuse. KNTZ coming up the ramp. Oh, he's doing damage, but he doesn't get the kill. MVP take the round.
He must have blinded him with that flashbang. The shots were connecting, Harry. They were on the ball. And right as he gets to the last second, suddenly the shots stop, and MVP are going to pick up that round. I love that camera shot as well from above the site. Lets you see where all those smokes are going down. They actually threw one for the plant as well, back from the bottom of ramp. So a retake coming through, and this is so back and forth. Neither team is giving up. Neither team is falling short here, and that's so nice. We're actually having a real competitive game. MVP are looking like a completely different team to the one that we saw in the group stage opening game yesterday versus ALPHA Red, where they got 10 rounds on train. Not to say that that's a bad scoreline, but we expected so much more. Now, the GG bet odds have flipped again. ALPHA Red now looking favored. Still got a lot to do, though. Not out of the woods yet.
What's going on over on the main stream, man? What's going on over there?
That was a lot of screaming.
That was insane. I haven't heard yelling that loud yet. Like, we've heard some loud yelling.
Yeah.
That one, I thought like we would go in a war. Here's the wall of smokes into the V-bomb site. ALPHA Red actually had forced this player out at the back of the site. That stacks into the open. They blanketed it in Molotov. 789 doubling up. Zine has gone straight through the window and denies the bomb plant. Trade comes in. Zeph gone. Zeta left up in the 1v2. They might give him this individual fight, but Olivia quick on the trigger. ALPHA Red with that force buy, that partial investment, they hit the B bomb site and they're able to find overwhelming success in that round.
Even with that Molotov missing the player in the corner, right? He was like cornered by two Molotovs, one to his left, one to his right, and he's still standing in it, not burning. 789 still checks the angle.
And even though it didn't even though it didn't serve its purpose to flush him out of position, Stacks at the back left of that bomb site did get Molotov'd out. Yeah. And when he tries to run, he runs through a sea of fire. Three Molotovs blanketing that bomb site. He cannot go anywhere. So he just dies in the Molotov before he's even seen anyone.
Oh, HSK is setting up a flash from spawn. That's supposed to go over the A site. We may see some aggressive push off the back of this, so keep your eye on the minimap. Because right now, ALPHA Red is walking up into B, and B is going to be empty. It's a heavy A setup. They're waiting for the right time to strike, but it will be in another round because ALPHA Red have got B for free. As you see, being very methodical, making sure everything is clear. And so it is. That's the site all theirs. And pretty much, Harry, 12 rounds for ALPHA Red as a result. Nice plant as well for both the door and the ramp and everywhere on the site. Can't catch much of a break there. 2 kills already coming through, and it is a mop-up. 1 frag from the CT side. I doubt we're going to have too many more unless Olivia goes through this smoke. Ooh.
Yeah, a few kills coming in, and you know, if you are ALPHA Red here, you don't want to risk losing any more players to these pistols. You want to keep 3 alive so that you make some money, and they will do exactly that. 789 able to finish offside at the very end. ALPHA Red now sitting with this lead building up. Has been quite the turnaround since moving on to their T half. I do feel like just like, as well as the map being T-sided, it seems like there's a lot more you can do on the T side of this map in terms of switching things up.
Yeah.
I think like there's a lot of versatility in how you, a lot of variety in how you can play. So it's very easy. Like if something isn't working, you can just go, all right then, we'll try this out of the 100 different things that we can do. Whereas I think CTs are a lot more hard pressed to do things like that. Like
definitely.
do plays that allow you to find a consistent advantage or take some map control. It's all such a risk, you know, like that's the problem. You try and take mid, well, they can hold it from the generator. Going down that drop-down spot is horrific. Stacking a bomb site doesn't really work because you can both hear the footsteps and rotations are so quick, in particular for the T side. So,
I mean, if you just looked at how ALPHA Red played their CT side and how they continually put so much effort on trying to get B picks, I mean, that's just an example of how limited you are sometimes. You just have to rinse and repeat the same setup, the same strategy. This is a very difficult situation for Stax. He's fully blind and he's already low. The Molotov finishes the job.
I haven't really seen teams do this with the Molotovs, but it just makes this B bomb site look flat out broken. 789 even going aggressive through those swings. Not even B, by the way. The bomb is back here inside of the A site. Yeah. That's like, I don't know about you, Hugo. Have you seen the blanket B Molotov wall smoke take throwing in this much?
I mean, you know, you don't often see that many Molotovs. That's what I mean. Think. You see like a smoke execute and one molly.
You can actually blanket that site with like 4 Molotovs and cover the whole thing. Yeah, 3 I think is enough.
This retake's still on there. They don't have a kit to play with, and they don't have 3 players either. Myros takes 1, and Fox follows up. They've got to stick the bomb in the smoke. The Zephyr needs kills and needs them fast. Myros moving around the left side, and he's even gone round the outer edge. Good luck. ALPHA Red are so prepared on this map, and this T side is non-stop fun. The Thai team up to 13 now, 3 away from a victory. And do MVP have a chance here? I'm starting to lose faith.
Yeah, I think justifiably so, right? They're running out of ideas. And this B site play, that round there, they just use the 2 or 3 players over towards B, throw in the utility. They back away with the majority of them and hit A, leaving just 2 players to sell that fake. And those Molotovs just look so strong. I cannot get over it. I can't get over it because Stacks, both times those mollies have gone in, it is just like, well, I'm dead. Like, what can I do?
Look at this B push there. Oh, they've already gotten round to T spawn. They're going to go behind these A players who had no idea what hit them. No one was holding B default. They pushed all the way round from those lower stairs. Now, the issue is with that, of course, is you've shown your trap card, and ALPHA Red have taken their bomb towards the B site. So it might just have to be a save here for MVP. Zion postured a little more aggressively to try and cut off these rotations back into the A site, but I don't think ALPHA Red need to hunt. They'd rather build their own money up. Firstly, wait and see and guarantee the fact that MVP are in fact saving and not walking up B stairs while you go hunting through CT, but that seems to be pretty obvious right now. So ALPHA Red are going to send 1 probe out. It's 789. Knife out. Dangerous decision. And it was in fact the Molotov for the sandbags, but it won't matter when his head gets ripped clean off. 14 rounds to ALPHA Red. And you have to remember as well, MVP, they won an eco. You know, ALPHA Red didn't at all in their first half. And that's another eco round where I'd say MVP, you know, that's a successful eco round. They get 3 kills and they save 2 guns. It's not what you want. You want a round win, of course, but you know, beggars can't be choosers, Harry, and sometimes you have to take what's given to you. Zion's having a great game as well. 24 kills, top of the server despite not being in the lead. And ALPHA Red, here we go. 2 more rounds to pick up, and this will be their map.
Aggression down B ramp and actually Stacks. KNTZ is killing everything. He's got 4 kills, 1 on his teammates, 3 on the enemy. He's bloodlusting right now. He doesn't even care. Stay away from him. Ooh. He's gone berserk, and finally Zeph is able to put him down. Olivia and Myrol's 2v2. It's back to this B bomb site. MVP, no, they think they spotted KNTZ retreating. They heard the rest of the footsteps running back, and I think they assumed that KNTZ was like the final man leaving this side of the map. And that is just not the case. The bomb goes down now. This is devastation for MVP.
Olivia doesn't want to plant. He wants to make sure the site's clear. And it is.
This is just devastating. This should have been an MVP round. They did such a good job of recovering that. Zion alone, 1v2. Does get close, but Olivia's going to put him down. It's map point for ALPHA Red. as they look to move 1-0 up versus MVP by taking their map pick.
This is a very exciting game. We've got Inferno next as well, Harry, so I think we're in for a 3-map series at this point. MVP have always been great at that map. 15-10. Can they do anything to salvage the scoreline? Can they bring us to overtime? Or will ALPHA Red send them packing here in the first map of this best of 3? We're going to have to see. KNTZ and Olivia running up a ramp early, but it's only 2 players here. That bomb is still spawn side. ALPHA Red don't want to take the bomb to bottom B in case they get pushed again. There are at least 3 players on that B site right now for MVP. Boost up on that A site instead. He's ready for it, but he sprays, and actually it's Olivia who gets shut down instead. Quick jump up from Zion, he gets away with a man advantage.
ALPHA Red about to group up and hit this B bomb site. I think they were trying to line up these. Actually, no, they're just doing it dry. They go running on in, and the flashbang's great from Stax. He'll even throw down another one just to try and keep this push at bay. 789 does get in through the window. Stax and HSK just going to hold this crossfire. 789 is the one man with a flashbang, but he's the one trying to take this peak. Throw that out now to try and facilitate KNTZ's play into this round as well, but he's gone. KNTZ alone manages to take 2 down with him, but the round goes the way of MVP, so they stay alive for the time being.
Yeah, it's a first round in a while for MVP. Maybe it will invigorate them a little bit more to start to pull this game back. But you have to remember how many sick executes we've seen from ALPHA Red, right? They just try and go for a dry take on B there. It doesn't work. But if they start throwing in, their proper executes to this B site, that's when things can get really, really tricky. So another full buy round up, and yeah, lots of players on B again. Here we go. Might see a similar situation. So if MVP allow it, they are deciding to get aggressive. That's the thing, when you're up against 15 rounds, I feel like you lose a lot of your inhibition, or you just start, to some extent not caring in terms of, being able to be aggressive and not worrying, because you still backs up against the wall, right? Stax, again, getting this kill off the flashbang from MVP. Going to sit in that smoke as the B smoke comes down. It's not a commitment yet, though. They've not sent that bomb up the stairs. Zev's going to get another from the window. MVP are locking B down right now.
Yeah, they're trying to assemble this mid boost. And they do get a man up into it. That's Fox's. He's going to pounce, and he'll find one over in middle, continuing his little reign of terror. And now back in CT, they spot the barrel of the gun. So this crossfire here between Zion and Zeta could look to shut this down, but you are relying on Stax inside of this bomb site to do the bulk of the damage. And him and Zion, they get the job done. MVP much more convincing in these last 2 rounds. One thing I will say, ALPHA Red, I mean, they have all these setups over towards the B bomb site. It's like in these last 2 rounds, they've just stopped. Every time they've gone B, they just haven't bothered throwing in these Molotovs that were working so well. You think about how many times we saw those mollies kill Stax over towards the back of the site, and how instrumental he's been at holding down the fort here over towards B in these last 2.
I think what they're hoping for is that MVP throw this like close smoke that blocks off the front of B site. That's what MVP were doing when ALPHA Red execute. And the reason you want that as a T sometimes it kind of means the CTs aren't going to push, right? If they have that smoke down, they cut off a huge line of sight for themselves. So you can kind of gamble in the sense that, okay, we can set up smokes and they're going to be playing passive in the site. Well, since that point, MVP have just been getting aggressive on B. They've been taking advantages round after round. So ALPHA Red, I think, maybe hoping that they're given more room than they actually are. And they've got to come up with a new plan. This B site is not the answer to their 16th round, because MVP, they've got an anti-eco ahead of them, and then they have 2 rifle rounds to close this map, or at least bring it to overtime. One or the other. MVP have not given up, though. Glocks and Deagle with 2 PT-50s. This is not a great play. Olivia with a bomb on the site. Not for long. There's the trade. Great shot from KNTZ, and a nade in response does a lot of damage. That bomb's still in no man's land, though, so MVP just have to lock down this A site.
Time. Quick to get down. Bomb dropped out in the open. So for ALPHA Red, the chances they're able to find March now is dwindling. But KNTZ doesn't even have armor behind this P250. Just 17 points of health, and he's still able to find one.
Such a horrible angle. And yeah, MVP's just gone, no!
Ooh. Ooh. Dink off, and I don't know. This should, I mean, this should be like a nice clean MVP round from this point on in, but you never know. Fire rolls missing a couple of shots, and yeah, they finally put him to bed. 13-15. MVP are coming back. There is still a buy left in the tank for ALPHA Red.
Some really nice shots here from KNTZ. Just jiggling, remaining so hard to hit. And here it is, Harry. This is it. 15-13. ALPHA Red, they could have closed this game a few rifle rounds ago. It's really gotten far too close for comfort. Are MVP going to be able to make the full comeback? Or will ALPHA Red finish this one off? They're going back to a default. They're not splitting that heavy B site again. They do have players down there, of course, but as long as there's a potential as well, that's fine. ALPHA Reds have done some great executes on B, you know, and they walk back up A ramp with full smokes and molotovs on that B site. MVP fell for that in the past. Maybe a good idea to throw that in again if they get the chance. But as we've already brought up, Harry, throwing these smokes is sometimes easier said than done because the CTs at a moment's notice can just push. And there are 3 here if you count that middle player who's jumping in between the window. Where did ALPHA Red decide to go? Minute on the clock, backing out of B early with the bomb. They still have players throwing in utility, so it's looking like that B fake once again. But they're not falling for it. MVP know what's happening. HSK has already rotated. The second he saw the smokes, he ran out of the B bomb site. MVP know what's going on. Oh, no, they don't.
They brained themselves.
It was the
did.
delay. Yeah.
This like moment of hesitation, I think, has now made MVP doubt themselves. You gotta believe in yourself, boys. You know, if they'd committed to that, maybe they would have had a stacked A bomb site. 3 players still on the ramp. Fox is beginning his rotation round, and that's why 789 now peels away to rejoin the rest of his team. Gonna leave that ramp, the flank to be held by Fox. But yeah, that Molotov forcing my rolls out into the open. It's so close. And if this bomb gets denied, oh, not quite. KNTZ has his teammates back. And now HSK barreling in, gonna get finished off. But Stax left up alone to try and deny the victory to ALPHA Red in this map. So much to do, so much pressure, and it's too much to bear. ALPHA Red take the win as they pick up Vertigo, their map pick. The